Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about Bamboozled, which was directed by Spike Lee and his creative direction and techniques throughout his career. The director of the movie Bamboozled is Shelton Jackson, most commonly known by most people as Spike Lee. Spike Lee was born on March 20th of 1967 in Atlanta, Georgia. He was only a child when his family moved from Atlanta to Brooklyn, New York. This is where he grew up and drew inspiration for many of his future films. Spike Lee studied at Morehouse College, which is historically a black college, where he earned his bachelor's in mass communication. At the time, he was an undergrad and he was making amateur films, and it was here where he made his first student film, Last Hustle in Brooklyn. Spike Lee then began his graduate education at New York University Tisch School of Arts, where he studied film in 1982. This is where his thesis film, Joe's Bed-Stuy Barbershop, We Cut Heads, won a Student Academy Award, and he earned Masters of Fine Arts in Film and Television. Bamboozled was released during the start of a new millennium. This time period was very special because it was around this time that we were marking the 100th year anniversary of film and the 50-year anniversary of television. Spike Lee also wanted to prove himself, and there is no better way of making your mark than becoming the pioneer of a new millennium. The film Bamboozled holds great satire where the main character Delacroix is trying to expose the network that he works for and using very controversial racial theme with blackface, but instead creates a hit show. Bamboozled is a very important film because Spike Lee wants to show the world how companies manipulate African Americans and use them as puppets for entertainment, even if that means humiliation. Delacroix had a plan, and he wanted to create a show called Mantan the News Millennium Minstrel Show, where he used actors that were black-faced in order to get fired from CNS. Surprisingly, the show became a hit due to this controversy and gained lots of popularity. This resulted in Delacroix losing his sight of why he even created the show in the first place, and as the success consumed him, he was in a point where he didn't know which direction to go. At this point, the movie loses its satire and edge and meanders into a darker territory of self destruction. Spike Lee is well known for his use of many camera movements and how he is able to direct the angles of his films so perfectly. Here we are going to talk about the signature shots that Spike Lee uses in his films and is well known for. First, let's talk about double dolly shot. This effect makes the characters seem as if they are floating down the street rather than moving. This is achieved by putting both the camera and the actor on dollies, which are wheeled platforms on a track. Another signature shot commonly used by Spike Lee is called Faces in the Crowd. This shot includes cutaways of the crowd's reactions in shots and are traditional at first. The cutaways become close ups of audience members that are warmly lit with a black background, and then the rest of the crowd seems to seemingly fade away. And last but not least, we have squeeze framing, where Spike Lee literally squeezes the frames together by making shots look compressed and elongated to create some sort of edge and confusion. This is done by shooting the scenes with anamorphic lenses, but running them down a normal aspect ratio. In conclusion, Spike Lee continually explores colorism in the black community and the role of media in contemporary life. In Bamboozled, Spike Lee made a film of satire and failed satire. Delacroix sells out the moment his controversial show became a hit, and he became a victim to an industry bent towards corrupting truths and ideals. This is very common in white America, and this is what Spike Lee tried to relentlessly avoid. At the heart of it, Spike Lee examines the complicated relationship between race and popular culture in a capitalist society. The difficulty faced by creators like Delacroix being unable to produce stories that they want is strongly related to Spike Lee's long term career.